Shannon, should the Packers be ranked ahead of the Cowboys?
Absolutely. I think they had the more impressive of the two wins. They beat a team that had 8 of their 11 starters had gone to a Pro Bowl. A lot of those guys have been all pro, and the Cowboys beat the Giants without their best player, Odell Beckham. Now, he might have been doing the two-step, but that's neither here. We'll talk about that later, Skip. Look, Skip, I'm not going to try and diminish what the Cowboys done. They won a game. They beat a division rival, especially early in the season, because everybody circled that date on the calendar. We know, well, we don't know. We think that it's going to come down between these two teams for the division win and to always get the upper hand. So you've already set them back. They need to go 2-0 in order to get to above 500. You've done your part. You've held serve. You're at home, and that's all they've done. They held serve at home, but they did it without the best player on the field. So maybe, probably not, if they had Odell Beckham and they had won in the convincing fashion that they did, maybe I would have said, but after what Aaron Rodgers did on Sunday against that defense, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers deserve to be in the 2 slot. You know that, I know that, but you're going to try to make a case because of Dak and all the jersey sales that Zeke.
Putting words in my mouth. I haven't said a word
Because
yet.
I already know you. I know you. But I believe the Packers should be in the 2 slot because they had the more convincing of the 2 wins on Sundays, and the Cowboys won a game without the Giants' best player on the field.
And silly me, I thought you actually had done your homework for once for this show today because you had it all spread out in front of you, and you had nothing to fire back at me with that even cocked one of my eyebrows. Because the last time we spoke about this topic, you were picking Seattle to win at Green Bay, and then you were picking the Giants to win at Dallas, if I remember. And all of a sudden, you've completely flipped it around, and now you say Green Bay proved it's better than Dallas, even though Dallas... Oh, I don't know. I can't make 2 + 2 = 4, but that's just me.
You're an English major in college. They don't do math.
Okay. So, bottom line, after one game, Green Bay is being laughably, I'm going to underline that word, laughably overrated. Because that defense that we saw on Sunday was pretty much the very same defense that finished 21st last regular season in points allowed.
Right.
And that defense, to my eye, made 0 significant upgrades through the offseason. Unless you want to consider Devon House, and I don't. Devon House, you'll remember, started with Green Bay, then he went to Jacksonville for a couple of years. And then they brought him back on a 1-year contract, so they didn't exactly commit long-term to a cornerback named Devon House. That's just about it, except for the first 4 draft picks, Mr. Sharpe. All of them defensive players drafted, and none of them started on Sunday, and not one of them had a significant contribution on Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. So that brings us back to last year's playoffs, in which this very same defense, as is, went to Dallas for the first playoff game and allowed 31 points and 429 Dallas Cowboy yards as the Dak attack went 6 for 11 on 3rd down. And then, of course, they somehow survived by the hand of God field goal. And on they went to Atlanta for the NFC Championship game, at which they allowed 44 points and 493 yards. And get this, 10 out of 13 did Matt Ryan convert on 3rd down. So in 2 playoff games, this very same group, the same defense, no upgrades, gave up, if my math is right, 16 out of 24 on 3rd down conversion. 16 out of 20. I don't know math very well, but that sounds pretty great to me and pretty bad for the Green Bay defense. So now we're going to leap to the conclusion that Green Bay is maybe it might be the best team in the NFL, but definitely the best team in the NFC after it dominated a pathetic Seattle offense that had lost its starting left tackle during the preseason, George Fant. You know that, and I know that. Seattle very good in the offensive line? No. So what did my eyes tell me on Sunday? The most dangerous threat Seattle has is Tyler Lockett returning kicks. Seriously, that was the only time I was like, uh-oh, they got a shot here. Or maybe when Russell Wilson takes off, and you know and I know he's not going to take off as much this year because he always gets beaten up when he runs the ball downfield. So he took off twice on Sunday, and he went for 29 and 11, and that was pretty much it. That's like the most dangerous part of their rushing attack for sure is Russell Wilson. So now let's get back to the Packers. On offense, the Packers in the first half scored all of 0 points. Why was that? Because Aaron Rodgers went down 4 times in the first half. Wow. Why did he go down 4 times? Because over time, he's losing a lot of stalwarts in his offensive line. TJ Lang is obviously gone. JC Tretter's obviously gone. So all of a sudden, they start mixing and matching new linemen. I don't think they're very good in the offensive line. But what happened over time in the second half? Seattle's offense was so pathetic that Seattle's defense had to stay on the field way too long. It was almost double in the time of possession. It was 39-21 time of possession, right? So Seattle's defense started to wear down in the second half.
What about the Giants' defense?
Well, I'm staying on Green Bay. We'll get to them in just a moment.
Okay.
So the point is that Green Bay scored 2 touchdowns in this game. Mm-hmm. One came fairly early in the second half after Russell Wilson coughed up the football at a 6-yard line. So all they had to do is go one play for 6 yards for a touchdown.
He just coughed it up?
He coughed it up.
I mean, what happened?
Mike Daniels forced a fumble.
Okay,
Is that what you want to get to?
Yeah, because you can't leave that part out to make it seem like he just threw the ball down.
Yeah, Russell's trying to do too much, and he's getting a little careless with the football, and I think he was thinking about taking off up the middle of the field, and he got stripped. Okay, and then what happened on the game-breaking touchdown, the 32-yard touchdown pass to Jordy Nelson? If you can't beat him, trick him. And Aaron Rodgers pulled off one of his classic trickeration plays.
Kind of like Tom Brady, huh?
Well, hard count.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Hard Count. How many times does it happen a game? 4 or 5 times a game?
I played with a guy I played with a guy that was master of the hard count. It's a part of the game.
Okay.
If you can get cheap yards and
okay.
march the ball methodically down the field,
he
why
got a
not?
cheap touchdown because Seattle got caught where it looks like flags are flying, and everybody, as you well know, on those plays, the defense sort of comes to a halt for a second, like it's out of sync, like should we stop or not? And all of a sudden, Earl Thomas is looking around, and is it my man or your? Oh, Jordy ran right past him. Maybe the best free safety in football, and Jordy just runs right past him, and Aaron hit him right on the money. 32 yards, game-breaking touchdown. So that's it. That's all you got in that game. A cheap 6-yarder and a slightly cheap-end 32-yard touchdown pass. And you're saying that was dominating? I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Okay,